Holding. What's that? It's Broden Kelly with his own shot. Yeah. It's the horrific reign of Broden has begun. First rule, eliminate elections. No more need for them. Hey, Marnie.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
That's good.
And Tom?
I haven't actually checked if it works, though. Let's see if it works.
That's working.
It's working.
I was so quiet to make sure that
yeah,
you got
there
the
you go.
shot you wanted to start.
Hey, I'm always going, yeah.
Rest in peace to the sign. That's all I'm saying.
Just for this one.
No, and on the Monday episodes and on the Wednesday episodes and on the Saturday episodes.
Okay.
There's
Goodbye
plans.
sign.
Tom, there's
In the
plans.
bin.
Tom, there's plans in. I'm gonna say bounce that pill shortly.
Why? We're not ready.
We're gonna start.
You're not going to say thank you, Richo, for the 5?
Thank you, Richo, for
Say
the
hello
5.
to the chat. Like, what's going on?
Hello, chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Broden's got to leave so soon for his solo show, so we're going to get cracking in.
I've been at the teat for Richard for far too long, suckling at the teat of Richard and his 5 gift subs every week, suckling away like a piglet.
I don't like that.
But
Why? What's wrong with that?
it's the piglet suckling of Richard and his gifts.
Yeah. you
I
say
must
thank
break
you,
free
Richard.
from Richard one day. Richard never comments either.
No.
All right, shall we crack it? I'll stop with the piglets suckling.
Yeah.
All right, we ready to do this?
Yeah.
It's gather round, folks. It's time to gather round in Adelaide, and we are coming to you live from South Australia, the home of wines. Lol joke, we're in Brunswick. Fuck you, bounce that pill. Welcome to the Footy with Marns. Hey, Marnie.
How's it going?
I'm going great. Let's break the fourth wall. You
Okay.
just interviewed me for our Saturday Mates episode.
Is it going up this week?
No, it won't go up this week. There's too many cogs in the
Damn.
process. But you interviewed me.
I did. It was very exciting.
Tom,
Yeah.
I was interviewed by a Quill Award-winning journalist.
Yes, and I was asked to remain outside.
Well, that's not exactly how that happened.
You know,
You
so I
said-
sat in my office.
You said, do you want me to join? I said, do you want to be a part of it? And you said, no, I don't really care.
No, I was like, yeah, I always sit in, but Broden never asked me anything, so it's a bit weird. And then you were like, yeah, it's better one-on-one.
Interviews are always better one-on-one.
It sounds like you're like, don't put me in that room.
No. I was literally sitting here, and I was like, oh, maybe I should double-check with Marns.
Well, lucky for you, you get to hear it when you edit it. Or if you want to listen to it on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast.
How was it?
It was deep and meaningful.
Yeah?
At one point, she took a swing at me, but we got through it.
Yeah. That's still here.
I don't, it was full on. But she's a great interviewer. And to the point
course.
where at the end I'm like, you just should do these.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
or at least we could take turns maybe or something. This is something to discuss in the future in different ways. But folks, we are coming to you live from Adelaide. The Torrens River is over there.
Yeah.
The
Villiers is over
tannins
there.
are in the air.
The
Yeah.
tannins are in the air. I was in Adelaide the other week, and it's good. It's gotten trendier.
Yeah.
I was staying a block from SEN,
Okay.
and what I learned is that place is not making original shows anymore. As soon as Kane leaves, they just turn everything off and clock the doors. So I don't think there's any like SA shows anymore.
Oh, really? So it's more of a national sort of
There probably
deal.
most definitely is, and I've completely made that up, but that was the vibe I got.
Yeah, right.
How are you, Man? Are you excited for Gather Round?
Yeah, I love Gather Round. I always get quite a big sense of FOMO because I'm not in Adelaide, but I like just enjoying everyone else enjoying it, like being there.
There is this. It's worth remembering that whenever an idea is brought up in the AFL, it is always met with immense Oppenheimer levels of cynicism.
Yeah.
And there's always it's not going to happen. There's no, that's an awful idea. And Gather Round was met with that. It was met with they're just stealing from rugby league and and it's no good and it won't work. But now people after 3 years are just like, it's absolutely fantastic and it will never leave. You're desperate to go one time.
Yeah, it's universally loved. I'm not surprised by what you just said, but I'd forgotten that because I feel like as soon as Gather Round 1 was on.
The GWS theme song, the first time people heard it, people went, what is that? And now people love that as well. Opening round, you guys hate it, but I'm letting you know that next year it will be the most loved round in the AFL.
See, I think my natural approach is enthusiasm, but opening round sucks.
Yeah, I think it's magical.
Okay.
What about opening round in round 9? So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, opening round 9.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
That would be funny. It would be like a macro funny thing to do.
Yeah.
And the AFL don't have a sense of humour, but that would be funny. And do you know what else is funny?
What?
All the news. Hit it.
Stunning.
You forgot to say it's the old things.
No, I didn't. The news with Marnie.
What a wonderful place to start. Should Gather Round stay or leave Adelaide?
I like that question.
The Herald Sun had an article that Tasmania is plotting to have Gather Round for the inaugural Devils season because Gather Round is only in Adelaide until 2026 so far.
They do not have a stadium. They don't.
How would they do it? It would be fully rural.
They couldn't do it. There's no chance.
How would the infrastructure possibly
Cope, yeah.
cope?
You'd have to do half in Launceston.
I think if Adelaide was stripped of Gather Round, even though there's this whole idea of maybe it'll leave one day, if they were stripped of it, they might declare war. Like they love it so much. There's so much about it. That and the Live Golf tournament there now, as well as WOMAD, as well as the Adelaide Fringe.
The Fringe.
This period before they all go back into hibernation. They'll be so upset to lose it.
Well, I think they've got a pretty good case to be upset as well. They've done an excellent job.
Yeah. The one thing that does feel weird to me is like, I'll call you out, Dill Buckley and other people like footy players going to a vineyard and going, this is actually fucking sick. Like it's the most insincere thing I've ever seen. Dill's like going to the market and go, wow, good sandwiches. Like it's like.
And then you get Jack Higgins just being like, I'm just going to sit in my room and play Call of Duty.
He would have gotten so much trouble, but there's nothing you could do about it.
Well, he doubled down. 7 News then did another interview with him being like, do you take it back? He's like, no.
I love him.
Yeah, he's funny.
Do you remember that time he did a photo of himself because he used to go for Saints and he had a Tim Tam in his mouth at the Marvel and then he did it again? That's top tier shit, man.
Yeah, he seems like a funny person.
He's a saner through and through.
Should we get him on?
Yeah.
Please.
Come here, man. I was just hoping he was nearby, but
We'll
he's
get
not.
Marnie to interview him.
Yeah, no, I think if Tassie got it would be absolutely catastrophic and there would be protests against it. But they just need to focus on getting Rumman. Rumman commented on a random post of nothing to do with...
Rumman's Instagram account is chaos and I love it so much. Responds to some of my stories.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about footy.
Now, who's running it?
I love it.
Rumman?
Keep going.
Yeah, what else is
Keep
news?
running your mouth. Run and
Rumman.
Yeah,
He's not
yeah.
running anywhere. He's a wonderful puppet.
Sorry, my brain just fully.
It's a pregnant pause.
Also,
I liked
because when I think about where else Gather Round could be, obviously you've got New South Wales, but I just really want when the AFLW finally gets its Gather Round to have it in Sydney. I feel like it's primed to be the Gather Round of AFLW and AFLM just like kicks off.
That is the super goal of takes. It would pop off in Marrickville.
Yeah, it would. It really would.
I would love that. We could go to Marcellina.
Marcellaria. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
What's his name owns it?
Cogs. Yeah, we'd love that.
Isaac Rankin has been in the headlines a lot this week. Was it a mark? Did he get pushed after he marked it? Was it a push even if he didn't mark it? Will he pass his fitness test after he got a knock in the calf and got a corky? But the question that he's asking is, will she be loved? Did you see his performance?
He sang again.
Yeah.
Yes, he sang again. It was like Footy on Nine's Gather Round special in the Barossa, and he did another musical performance. And it was so good.
He's a good singer.
He's an excellent performer. He's very emotive.
How do you feel about the songs, Tom?
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Could you do a remix of his cover?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that for Sunday. That's a great idea.
Or we should get him in the studio and make a whole album. The songs.
Yeah, there's some.
It was a mark. The album can be called. I marked it.
Yeah, I marked it.
It was a mark. Umpires are
It was
dogs.
a mark, cunt.
The album. I struggle. If he does it a third year, I'm going to struggle with it.
Oh, why?
I don't know. Something about musician, like coming from the performance world. I'm like, I put a singer, like put someone who made. I guess I don't know. I'm conflicted. I'm
But he's
conflicted.
good.
Is he good?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
like,
don't
it's
think
actually
it's
good.
Yeah, I don't think it's tokenistic.
No,
in
no.
this sense. Other times, I agree with you, Brad. And I feel like I know exactly where you're coming from, and I'd be like, "Pay a fucking musician to do a musician's job, you cunts." But I feel like in this particular instance, though, no, it feels right, and it feels like
It
as long as
does.
he plays at
And
Adelaide,
it
he
feels
should be
very
doing it.
Adelaide.
Yeah, it's
Will
great.
he be the head of the band on Best on Ground in 15 years, like Russell Robertson?
I hope so.
Do you know Russell Robinson?
No.
Yeah, Russell Robinson was a Melbourne player and he used to take big speckers and he was good. And then the Footy show had this segment called, Rhett Bartlett, if you're out there, find the footage, please. But they had like Australian Idol on the Footy show, but for footy players, and every club had to put people in to sing. And
Awful.
it was the death of Australia as we knew it. And it was awful, but he was good. He could sing. So now he still does that.
Because also I'm in the camp of how cool in such like a historically blokey space to have one of the best players get up and sing Maroon 5.
That's actually, now that you say that, it's the most AFL thing I've ever heard. Maroon 5. He played She Will Be Loved.
Yeah. See the girl with the broken spell.
What's his name again? Adam Levine.
Yeah.
We don't like him.
Why?
He's a bad guy.
Oh,
Not
really?
like he's just like he cheated on his wife, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was like, I think that's correct, but I can't remember why.
Yeah.
But he's also, there's a great tweet about Adam Levine from Maroon 5, which is
I know the one.
because he's covered in tattoos. And he's like, he looks like he went into a tattoo shop and asked for tattoos.
Yeah. Like none of them seem to have any real connection.
No, they're just
to
like
it.
a heart with a knife through it.
Oh,
Like just like
yeah.
a kangaroo, you know, like just random shit.
Unfortunately, we have to spend a little bit of time in the injury ward because Will Day has been sidelined for 3 to 4 months, but Broden Kelly just threw his hands up in the air because I assume he thought I might be starting with Jake Lever.
No, I was going to
Oh,
say,
okay,
but
Will
Will
Day.
Day
Yeah.
is potentially like could be the best player in the like a
Yes.
Brownlow medalist AFL
Yeah.
player, and the only thing that's in his way is like his body.
Yes. So he missed the first 6 rounds of 2024 after suffering the exact same injury in the same foot. And then he also missed the finals series that Hawthorn were in last year because of a complex collarbone injury. And so now to be sidelined for up until at least the Hawks' next bye, so that's round 15, that sucks. Because he was even in the conversation of like, this could be the next Bontempelli.
No fact check on this, but did not he missed the first few rounds and they didn't win without him.
Last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a big thing.
But I think they're of a different team now, Obs.
Oh, exactly. But they did have a few out as well, I feel like he was one of many. I could be wrong.
But he is very good. Like in watching that, I remember in the first round watching the Sydney game and going like, oh, okay, well if he's good all year, if he's fit all year, then they're a completely different dish.
Did you see his goal when they played GWS? Oh my, like
Freak of nature.
ridiculous. Yes, like the type of player that you're like, a human being should not be able to do what you do.
Yeah, no, it is a bummer.
But the Hawks are expected to regain Warple for their gather round clash against Port Adelaide.
No, he's signing with Melbourne now. Apparently, there's the rumours about this.
No.
We're into him, but why would you come to Melbourne?
Jake Lever's set to miss up to 8 weeks with an ankle injury. He hasn't played since round 2 after rolling his ankle twice, and he was hoping to manage the issue, but after consulting a specialist, he's going to need surgery.
Yeah, great, really good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how. I've just got this feeling
What?
that they're going to make finals somehow.
What? Really?
This is what Brayden was going on about.
yeah, okay. But even like maybe for the mindset of Melbourne, you go, well, we're going to get Jake Lever back and we're going to be okay. Well, now you're not going to, so you kind of have to just rely on yourself a little bit more, and you have to back yourself in just a little bit more.
Give me the next 4 teams we play, Tom.
Okay.
Essendon.
Correct.
Tattoos on the line. Are we talking about that? Can't wait.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get a tattoo when we lose.
Yeah, but you're actually excited to get a plane, and the real possibility that Essendon are losing this game is really creeping up on me.
Where there's ink on the line.
Yes, I know.
But I really like my tattoo artist.
Yes.
So
I'll okay. Well,
yeah,
I can go to.
CV Vidler, CVH. She's one of the best tattooists in Australia.
Oh, that's
She's
great. I go to
probably-
a girl called Chloe, but I don't know anything else about her.
Chloe. Yeah.
Essendon,
Yes.
maybe. Freo, L. Richmond, W. Eagles, W.
You're on the rise,
So
maybe.
you'll probably be two from 6.
Three from
Oh,
8.
you reckon you'll be at Essendon?
Yes, I do.
Sure.
And then you get a teardrop.
With a devil inside it.
Yeah.
Your face.
Yeah, my head is a teardrop,
So
yeah.
you'll either be 3-5 or 2-6 probably.
And and we're going to win it all.
Gotta
And then
make
we
it.
win the flag.
If you lose to West Coast.
Yeah, it could very well could happen.
Yeah, well, even one of the footy shows on 9 this week, they were banking in Carlton just beating West Coast. I was like, I would not bank that in.
No. The Voss episode, please.
When do they play on Sunday? So we won't know.
Oh, God,
Just do it. Just do it
We might.
Saturday.
They're playing
Do it before
Saturday.
they
They're
play.
playing Saturday, so yeah.
Oof. In Adelaide. I know
Yeah.
that for sure.
Max King, who has yet to feature this year, has been dealt another setback in his journey back from
Really?
his knee. Yeah. So
Knee?
So he had the preseason surgery
Oh,
on
no.
his knee, and all they're saying is that he's just had another setback with it, and he's gonna need to consult with specialists to determine the next steps.
Oh,
It's
no.
fucked up, man.
It's really, really sad, and it must be so mentally hard, like really challenging.
Yeah, that's awful.
Jack Steele's flown to Adelaide, hoping to be fit enough to play after missing the last 2 games following a knock to the knee in round 3. So at least they get the captain back.
He watches my stories.
Okay. Nicest man in the AFL.
Yeah, he's watching my stories.
I'm not sure he gets back into this team.
Whoa!
Whoa.
They're in such good form. Why would you break the winning culture by bringing back a loser captain?
How dare you?
I'm joshing, but like legit though. He's quite slow.
Who would you take out? Who do you?
Yeah, I'm sure I could find someone, but it's just a funny little thing.
Yeah, Jackson. He watches my stories.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Don't know whether either of you saw this today, but Brad Scott called for an urgent change as he said the coaching fraternity has increasingly become disenfranchised, and he said that the league really needs to intervene because players are not seeing coaching as a viable career. He said that the coaching fraternity are getting quite frustrated and that the league should listen to coaches rather than treat their issues as, quote, nonsense. And Craig McRae agreed, saying the soft cap has reached its boiling point in terms of our staff. There's a lot of staff that are working really long hours and they want to be rewarded for that. So Scott didn't say exactly what it was, the like nonsense that he's referring to, but he said that he's never seen a coaching group more frustrated with a whole range of things. That's not to do with umpiring, not even to do with relationships, but it's more to do with how coaches are regarded in the AFL.
So because it's about the amount they're paid, really, like
Yeah.
at the top, which is my understanding. It's like not a lot, maybe 130 to 150,000 for an assistant coach. Compared to, but also coaches, yeah.
I don't know, 2 of the richest clubs. I'd like to hear it from the poor clubs talking about the
point.
soft cap, maybe. Like,
Yeah,
rather than
that's a good
Carlton and
point.
Geelong, like, come on.
Well, it's also a fair
Essendon.
point that like Brad Scott was the
Oh, right.
former footy boss at the AFL. Like he was involved with a lot
Yeah.
of decision making, and even if he does think that coaching's low on their priority list, well, he was helping to determine what that priority list was.
So yeah, because it's about paying people outside the soft cap. Is that right? Or
Well,
it's
there
just-
didn't used to be a soft cap before COVID, right?
right?
It was introduced to help curb the expenditure of the whole league, and it's
Right.
remained.
So that
And the rich clubs obviously want to remove
you
that.
want to spend, you can only spend a certain amount on coaches.
Correct.
And the idea will be that Collingwood will get 48 coaches.
Correct.
And the Dogs will have a part-time phys ed teacher
Correct.
also working another job.
Yeah, which was how it was before, I guess.
Which-
and it also allows them to just snipe people. We'll come over, we'll pay you 200 extra, whatever.
Well, surely you just set the soft cap higher. so
Yeah,
you can
potentially.
pay
Yeah.
more, like, but also I'm just completely,
And I'm making this up. This is my hot take on it. This is not factual by any means.
No, but I think
they
that is
could
a fair point.
Yeah, they could genuinely be upset about a multitude of issues, including pay. But yeah, I'm just saying, I just hear it from the rich clubs and I go, well, of course you want to remove the soft cap.
It's a good point though. Like,
Yeah.
I think they should be paid more. $130,000 though. What's that, like a principal? I don't know how much people get paid these days on things.
I think that's like a pretty average wage for a professional these days.
What's you always compare it to Cole stuff.
Yeah, so you would get much more for managing a Coles, which is like managing about 250 people plus. So yeah, but that's $1 million a week store. You'd get more than
How much does the
120,
manager at Coles get?
upwards of 150 for a big store.
But you can never go home. Yeah.
Yeah, you usually do quite
Kind of
insane
like
hours. Yeah,
Tom at this studio.
yeah, like me at this studio. I don't get paid that much.
Did you put the dairy away, by the way?
What about the
You
dairy?
stock the dairy?
Oh my God, all
no.
the fucking up and goes in your office.
I know, right? Fridge has been bare. I
disgusting.
need to take over management of the fridge. You're right, Broden.
You should start stacking the dairy in our
I'll start rotating it as well.
Yeah, you should.
But it is important to say that Andrew Dillon did defend the league's approach. And he said that there has been substantial increases to the soft cap over the last couple of years post-COVID to try and get back to 2019 levels. But I also think it is interesting that Brad and Craig both had very strong opinions on this. And even you had the Adelaide coach, Matthew Nicks, talking about the umpiring decision. And
He did a good job with that.
there was a coach that said that he felt like they were hand-picking what they apologised for.
Yes.
Oh, my
yes.
God. Was that the other Scott or was that Ross Lyon? One of the other coaches said that this week.
Yeah, I know someone. No, it's too much information. There's too much media.
Too
in
much
this.
going on.
I saw Corns do a whole thing about this where he was
Yeah.
like, it's not helping.
But I particularly mean the coaches. Like, it's so
Yeah.
cool to have coaches be able to talk about this because players are never allowed to criticise the AFL like that. Like,
You
they
can
would
criticise
get
Adelaide, but-
reprimanded if they did that.
They're only human. If they don't like Adelaide, they don't have to say they like Adelaide. I'd love to hear.
I also don't know whether you saw that the Sandford W and the VFLW are going to play each other.
Oh,
like have
State of
representative
Origin.
teams that play each other in gather round. So the men are also doing this. The men's VFL state team and Sandford West End state team are going to be playing on Saturday in the Barossa.
That's fun.
But this is the first time ever that the VFLW is going to get a representative team, which I think is very exciting, especially because the state of VFLW is not, I would say, progressing. Especially, I mean, Port Adelaide and Essendon stopped doing player payments this year, and they were some of the last clubs to even do player payments. And so there's a real regression, especially when it comes to second tier footy. So to see progression in other areas is very cool and very exciting.
Great.
Yep. And there'll be AFL, like Meg McDonald's up for selection. Like, it's very exciting.
Cool.
Cool.
I'm excited. I'll watch that.
That's on Friday night at Alberton Oval.
I'll be on stage.
Oh, fun.
Well,
But
get
I'll
off
watch the
stage and watch.
I can put it on the screen next to me.
Just have the Sandford v VFLW
I know I usually put
behind
pictures
you.
up about the show, but this is the VFLW statement.
I thought it was going to take me a lot longer to get through all of that.
No, that's good. I had questions.
Oh, I have one more thing.
Yeah, please.
Oh, no, you go with your question.
No, I know.
Okay. More past players than ever before are reporting mental health difficulties. So this is from
Ex-players?
Former players from the AFLPA's data. So last year, 429 alumni sought mental health support, and that's up 23% from 2023. And from 2021 to 2024, the number of former players seeing an expert has doubled. And the way that information was presented was don't panic and action is really important and we'll be doing action here. But my first take when I saw that, my first thought was that's great.
Yeah.
Because that to me says that all that messaging that it's okay not to be okay and you can seek support and you're not weak for having mental health struggles is actually cutting through and more people are just taking that opportunity to say, can I have some help?
Yes, it's like when Trump said that first time, he's like, we're not testing, so the numbers are low.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's with COVID. It's good that people are seeking it out. The more people that deal with that shit, the better.
Yeah, and it's also props to the union for providing such thorough support, I would say, because I think it would be easy to kind of neglect this area, but they've been very strong for like a number of years
Preach
in
money.
this area.
Well said.
All
Very
right,
good.
What are your questions?
I forget them entirely.
Okay.
But it's time to tip with a little segment I like to call Tipping. Thank you for waiting. How's the stream all
Tipping.
I don't know if anyone's watching that.
We got 20?
What about
Tipping.
TikTok, Pad?
Oh. Mind-altering numbers on the socials as we do this live. Just wonderful, wonderful stuff. Thank you to everyone watching along. And if you're listening on Thursday, thank you as well. But it's time to tip because the footy starts tomorrow. Do you know I was asked to toss the coin at the opening game tomorrow night, Adelaide versus Geelong at Adelaide Oval.
I'm so mad at you for doing other things and taking interest in other things outside of the football podcast.
I'm so mad that my joke to that was you should do it on FaceTime. Got 0 reacts in the Slack channel.
Well, because the other day, I said the funniest joke, Marnie, and you shot me down like the Red Baron in World War One.
I actually made a TikTok about it, and then I was like, that's too mean.
Nah, be mean. He can take it.
It was just so funny that
I wrote a joke because the gun guys came into the G with their guns, and then I said, I've been getting in with 2 guns for years. Silence. Silence.
And also...
Crickets.
Also, the chat was so active before you made that. So everyone's talking away and then Broden makes his joke and no one says anything. So Pat's waving his arms because Paddy did a react. He was the only one that reacted.
Which is worse than silence. So then now a half hour goes past and I think I'm just going to make sure that everyone knows I did a joke. So I said the joke here is I have big, strong arms.
Yeah.
Silence again. And then old Quill over here comes in with fucking, it's a funny joke. And I was just felt the size of, I felt 2 foot tall. You fucks.
I laughed so hard.
I want to see this TikTok. You got it in the drafts?
Yeah.
Hit send.
It's just me making fun of no one responding to Broden.
That's great. You can take it, right, bro? You sold 10,000 tickets to your comedy festival show, you know? You're not worried about what little Marnie thinks.
Hey.
Of course I do. Now put it up. Okay. And I'll put my own up.
Okay.
Fuck Marnie.
Broden Kelly.
Not funny. Oh yeah. I'll do a whole sketch where I'm wearing a blonde wig and, with an award. That'll be great. No, I won't do that. I don't have time. Some people were suggesting also, I just want to say very quickly, that the Helen Garner video didn't have video because she outbenched me. No, that's not true.
No,
that's because we were weightlifting, yes.
Yeah.
But I cleared Helen by a substantial amount.
I don't think I remember to put the disclaimer into the YouTube description as to why there was no video. So that's probably my fault completely.
Well, we were down at Jets and we were bench pressing. The first game is Thursday night at 10th of April. Gather Round begins 7:40 at Adelaide Oval. The Crows taking on the Cats, which is a great game. Mind-boggling that people are going Crows 77% are tipping Crows at home. No chance. Cats win this.
Oh, I'm tipping Crows?
You're crazy,
You're
Broden.
mad.
You're insane.
Why?
Crows are like the informed team in the competition, mate.
Now you're doing some comedy.
Yeah. No, they're really, really good and they play way, way better at home. And Geelong like playing at home too and they won't be at home. And they'll have the whole of South Australia behind them for Gather Round.
I reckon Geelong come over there tomorrow night. There's going to be fireworks and some sort of Australian band who didn't really crack through internationally doing a corporate gig on the ground. Sorry, whoever it ends up being, if you're a friend. And they're going to ruin the weekend for Adelaide people. They are going to win by 60 points. It's never going to be close. Crows will get it back in the third quarter to about 18 points and Cats will just be in front all night.
This is why you are so bad at tipping.
Oh, I'm so annoyed because for the last 2 rounds, I've only had 1 wrong every week, but I haven't been putting them in.
If Crows do win,
we'll get a tattoo. No.
The comments will be, oh, yeah, umpire's trying to level it out, get them,
So here's the last 3 results, Broden. 90-85, Geelong won. 77-96, Geelong won, and 98-72, Geelong won.
No,
so they've won the last 3.
The
but
big
by
context is who?
Yeah, but by 5-20. So it won't be a blowout, and Adelaide are way better this year.
I think they will win by 80.
Yeah, I think that's...
60-80.
Very
20-80. 10-80. Just covering my bases.
Okay.
I mean, Adelaide could, they're the sort of young team that are up and about and they definitely can lose some winnable ones. So they might lose for sure.
But after a big week of an emotional game like last week, I think that kind of emotionally burns you.
Sure.
You tipping Adelaide though?
I am.
And you're tipping Adelaide.
Yeah, Adelaide by 17.
And then Friday night, the second night of Gather Round, all the way over in Adelaide, at Adelaide Oval, Collingwood versus Sydney. This is a good rivalry, I think, these two teams. In the last few years, a lot of finals around thereabouts. Obviously, Collingwood not last year. They didn't even show up to the finals. But the year before, I think Collingwood got eliminated by Sydney in 2022.
Yeah, right.
weren't they?
I can't remember.
23.
Yeah, by 1 point.
Yep.
1 point. Wow, brutal.
So there's a nice rivalry here. Swans got back into some nice form recently. On Sunday, quick turnaround, by the way. And Pies are in firing form. They are missing 2 key players, though, in Jordan DeGoey and a little bloke I like to call, someone put it in the chat, 2 big names got taken out.
I don't remember.
DeGoey and someone will say it to me.
Yeah, just continue on and we'll work it out.
I'm tipping Collingwood.
I'm tipping Sydney.
I'm tipping Sydney, yeah. I can't see them losing this. They're back.
Good.
They're back,
And I was
baby.
just very happy with me tipping Sydney over North.
Yeah, and
You
which is so
losers.
obvious in retrospect. Yes, that makes so much sense. Absolutely.
The next game is North versus Suns.
I think Sun should be able to get this done, don't you think?
Lockie Schultz.
Lockie Schultz is
Oh,
out.
Schultz is out.
Schultz and DeGoey are out.
I loved that he got best on ground against Carlton. That's who they played last. Because he only had like 17 touches or whatever it was. Like, I love that they didn't just look at the stat sheet and were like, oh, well, let's give it to
Yeah.
Dacos. Like, I
Potentially
love that they actually watched properly and like who impacted this game the most.
Potentially his first good game for the
Yeah.
Pies.
I think he's been playing really good this year, actually. Like, yeah.
Tell me how it is.
Overall, playing a lot better this year.
North, 7% people tipping it against the firing Suns, who have not lost and will not lose this
Ooh,
year.
that's exciting.
This is a danger game.
Barossa Park. Barossa Park.
Yeah, this is going to be so much fun, but we could lose this.
This would be the game to go to as well.
Yeah, this is what I was desperate to go over for, but what do? You've forsaken me.
You go get out of here, the interview room. You won't let me go here.
Yeah, you like, Tom, you're riding my coattails for too long. So this year I'm going to do a comedy festival show and you can stay in Melbourne.
I offered for both of you to toss the coin and they said, no.
What?
Of course. Imagine they sent me to toss a coin on
It's-
Friday night.
Please welcome Tom.
Some dude.
In a silk shirt, it's Tom.
That would be insane if
would
they
be so
accepted that. I like
funny.
that you put it out there, but that's insane.
So maybe Tom. Suns, I'm tipping.
Yeah, Suns.
Yes, Suns.
The game of the round.
Is this our
For
game?
Broden.
The game of the round.
Are you ready? Knock, knock.
Who? Oh, Owen, come in.
Let me do my joke.
Who is there?
Owen.
Owen who?
0-5 is what you're going to be after this game.
Ooh.
But
This
we're
is
talking
Carlton
about
West
Carlton
Coast.
West
though.
Oh, I said this is our game.
Well, it's our game in that I'm passionate about Carlton winning now for
Yeah.
personal reasons of Michael Voss related.
It's so funny you had him in the top 4.
I don't think
confident.
I don't think it's ever coming out.
No.
I'm so happy that I put Melbourne in my bottom 4 and Carlton out of my 8. I'm so
Yeah.
smart.
Who are your fucking top 4s then?
I don't know. Do you want to do? I can pull up the ladder. predictor
I
if you want.
had Sydney, GWS, Collingwood, and Fremantle.
Okay.
I don't think I've actually made the ladder predictor Google sheet yet, but I
No,
will.
but who is your ladder?
I had Brisbane, Geelong, Sydney, GWS.
Brisbane.
Oh,
Geelong,
there's no way I
Sydney,
didn't have Brizzy in my top
Yeah.
4. Oh, maybe no, I didn't. I think I had them like 7th.
I'm tipping, by the way, I'm going to tip Carlton to win.
Oh, I'm just going to tip West Coast because funny.
It's funny. I think Carlton should get this done.
And then at 4:15, first time we're at Norwood Oval, the place with, it's a basketball court oval, one straight line boundary. Western Bulldogs taking on Brisbane Lions.
I think Doggies will get this done. That is my hot tip for the round. I think Brisbane's the obvious one, but they've just been a little bit off. Doggies have exceeded expectations. Yeah, they've played much better than I thought they would. And I don't know, I just feel like the Doggies, it's their time.
Did you see the lobster's gone from Rory Lobb's head and it now says woof woof on the side of his head?
Love that.
I love that too.
There's a lot of hair stuff. I'm jealous.
Well, I'm just confused because when you bleach your hair and you dye it colours, it fucks it so bad. Like, for me to be blonde, the amount of treatment that I have to put in it, and if you're constantly blonde, you are just stripping all your hair. How is his hair still there?
I bleached my hair once.
How'd it go?
No, never got it back.
That's what happened, huh?
I'm tipping Brisbane.
I was gonna tip Brisbane, but I love the story of Doggies winning this. You know what? Go Doggies.
Go Doggies.
Never tip with your heart, people. By the way, the D's will win this one Saturday night.
Knock knock. No.
Yeah, do it.
Knock knock.
1 second. I've got the ring light. Marnie.
How's it going?
I told you never to come around here. I got a gun.
Come on, we're going to the tattoo parlor.
I got it from the FCG. All right, let's go. Because Melbourne lost. I'm tipping Melbourne to win this.
I think Melbourne will win.
I think Melbourne's going to win as
Really?
well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the D's
I'm
are
going
fucking
to tip
awful.
Essendon because I think that just feels better. But I actually think Melbourne are going to win this one. Essendon, all teams coming off a bye, I feel like are rusty and don't usually get the win.
Yep.
And Essendon are going to be, I think, overconfident because they had that one win against Port Adelaide that was a horrible game.
Okay.
They're going to be overconfident whenever they go in as favourites. They play shabby.
Shabby.
I'm not confident at all.
Okay. Melbourne won't win, but I'm tipping them.
Melbourne's lost their last 5 and Essendon's won one of their last 5. So
It's the grand final preview.
yeah.
Neither of them have played.
No, like
isn't it 0-4 and
Yeah, no, it just
1
shows
and
with
3?
the last 5, I think, even into last year, I think it does. Yeah. Just on the AFL website.
Cool.
and then another Barossa game, Richmond versus Fremantle, unwatchable game.
Yeah, this will be an awful game. Richmond just really have a lot of awful games.
Fremantle.
But I love watching Seth Campbell. Isn't he so fun?
Yeah.
I'll tip Fremantle.
Good stuff. And then Norwood again, St Kilda Giants. Oof. Going to be great. Giants.
Giants, I think, will win this.
Yeah, I think so as well, but I expect it to be close.
And yes, okay, I like that. They get coached well, Sanus, and they're in firing form.
There's a lot of fight and spirit going on there.
Fight and spirit, absolutely.
Also, in my ladder, I put them 10th, and the two of you were like, why did you put them so high? Well.
Yeah.
Who
showed us.
knows footy?
I'm eating my humble pie. Saints are good, though. I don't want any Saints fans coming at me.
GWS are just better. That's how the football
GWS are going to win the
works.
flag, mate. That's the truth of
They
it.
might.
And then it closes out with a whimper. Sunday night, Hawthorn versus Port.
A lot of people trying to build a lot of narrative into this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the talk on SEN.
Because in case everyone forgot, the Hinkley playing at Jack Ginnivan.
You're not
after
flying, mate.
Yeah, beat them in the final last year.
Hawthorn's going to...
Yes.
Hawthorn are not going to show no mercy.
Yes.
They're going to really... And he's going to... That's what we tip. Do you think Ginnivan will do a flying thing?
Oh, I would love it so much.
I think he
Can
will.
kick a goal.
Yeah,
I
if he
think-
kicks a goal. Oh my God, yeah. Okay, let's tip Guinea to kick a goal in his goal celebration to be playing.
I reckon it's like 95% it's going to happen.
Yeah, okay.
I reckon this is a danger game for us because it's at 7:20 on Sunday, which is when we usually start recording our podcast just about. And I reckon Port could show a bit.
Well,
especially if Hawthorn are too fired up and come in with too much agenda.
Is a danger game for us for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be 9 o'clock, wrap up the podcast, and it's like five points in it, you know?
Hell yeah. That'll be great. Well, that's going to be a fun week. I hope if you are going over, you have a wonderful time. Send us photos of Villies. Send us photos of Farmers Union iced coffee. Maybe send us photos of Haig's chocolate, the big balls. Don't just send us any big balls. I'm talking about the Rundle Mall balls. Adelaide Oval. If you go to the other oval, send us photos of that.
If you see Aaron Phillips, say, love your work.
Yeah. Hi, Aaron Phillips. Does Aaron still live over there?
Yeah.
Yep, that's great. Home for the weekend. That'll be good. Same if you see Mark Rashudo, say hi to Mark Rashudo. That'll be great. Have a great time, everyone. And if you're watching on the telly, I hope you enjoy it. And if you're coming to my show this weekend, thanks for coming. And if you're being Tom, have a great Tom.
Thanks so much.
And
mate.
if you're Marnie, have a great Marnie.
This is my last podcast episode of me in my 20s.
Yeah.
Oh,
happy
Marnie's
birthday, Marns.
birthday on Saturday.
I'm going to be
Happy
joining you
birthday.
two being so old.
If you can, do me a favor and reach out to Marnie on her socials and go, happy birthday, Marnie. Marnie is turning 40 this weekend and leaving her 30s. Are you excited to be leaving your 20s?
Yes, I'm so excited. I feel like everyone just talks about how you're a lot more self-assured when you're in your 30s. And
I love my
you just-
30s.
Yeah, everyone seems to just have a better time in their 30s. My sister's in her 30s, so I get to join her.
Yeah, you can be like the Golden Girls.
Well, Carrie Bradshaw was 32 in season 1 of Sex and the City.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
My life is just beginning.
No.
See you later, suckers.
Are you like your 30s?
I don't. Well, I mean, Marnie said that you're more self-assured, and I'm not sure about that. I think I'm more anxious now than I ever have been.
Yeah, but
you
you
know
have
the
two
things you
small
like.
children.
Yeah, that's true. So I should. That's probably why I'm anxious. Yeah.
That'll do it.
You're a different kind of person.
But when they're 30, you'll be
then I'll be
self-assured.
stoked. Yeah, 100%.
I do footy and do comedy. That's all I do in my 30s.
Yeah, me too, pretty much, actually, at this point.
Thanks so much, everyone. Enjoy the games this weekend. Cheers, Marnie.
Cheers.
Cheers, Tom.
Did we lock in what the bet is?
A tattoo.
Great.
Tattoo. Well, yeah, it'll be a plane or it'll be a
Your
teardrop.
fucking face.
I would not make you do that. I don't want that. I do. But no, I don't want that. Enjoy the week, everyone. Bounce that pill.
I thought we were going to talk about how shit Essendon's family day was.
Do you want
Do you want to?
No, not
We can
at
add
all.
that in.
No, just for the people in the chat.
Oh my god,
Apparently it
yeah,
was
drag
shit.
him.
Apparently it
Also,
was shit.
to drive all the way out to Tullamarine as well is kind of a big ask. The parking's not great.
No. So my father-in-law took my son to Essendon family
Beef
day.
taco.
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
Yeah, they're all Marnie flavours.
Thanks for sending them, though.
Oh my god, thank you so much. Dave.
Yeah, Marnie doesn't like them, but the office have eaten.
All of those flavors are bad. These flavors are good.
The office have eaten like 4 boxes already, I believe.
These are the good ones.
Thank you so much for joining in, everyone. I'm seeing all the lovely things, and as always, some great contributions to the show. There's a good chance I'm going to miss my show, so I'm going to run now. But I'll see you all soon.
Bye,
You
thank you
guys
so
can
much.
hang if you want.
Ah.
Oh.
See you guys.